Right, well, the next stage was basically I had this ferrite ring on here, and I filled resin around I had silicon, obviously. The silicon has come off now. And then I poured resin around the outside and poured some resin around the small gap in the centre. Hang on, I might get this off. So I've got this outside ring. Then, hang on, get this up again. Right, okay. Now, when I put the ring back on, we have a gap where the ferrite ring was. Now, the second stage is basically, as I said before, we have the ball bearing, which goes on the other side, but we have to couple with steel. Well, we could have steel rods going all the way down, but ideally, I want to use another diffused magnetic field. So we've got two diffused magnetic fields. The steel ball picks up the concentric magnetic field from the ring. Right. Let's put that in the bobbin again. So we've got the concentric magnetic field. Right. We want to pulse this magnetic field forwards and backwards, up and down. So we don't have angular, we don't have rotational influence. We don't want a rotational influence from the rotors. We want a magnetic pulse up and down to pulse the concentrics. So to do that, we need to use a diffused magnetic field that's what's the word? Omnidirectional is the word. Right, and to do that, then we have the steel ball underneath, as I said, which picks up the concentric magnetic field, but we have to pulse that ball. Now, to do that more sufficiently, we use another steel ball, either a tiny one, like this, or a larger one. Obviously, I need to cut this down and to drill it out. Well, in order for me to keep my center, I had to make this a bit wider, and I also wanted to have a ring, so that now I can fill the void with more resin without actually, so I can fill that basically so it's flush with the top. Then I'm going to fill this void with resin. I'm going to use a different colour, it's all referenced. And then I'm going to drill this out so that it can fit two ball sizes. So I can have basically two. So I can have a tiny ball right at the bottom and a larger ball on top. So we're actually going to have, we can have the option of having a large ball or a small ball. But these are the primaries. These are the primaries of the rotor magnetic field. The magnetic field will be pulsed up and down. And we can either have two balls basically on top of each other like this, or we can just use one. We'll see anyway. But I need to fill this now with this void here, this resin, before I drill this out. Because if I drill this out now for a large ball, damn it, and my big ball has just gone flying all over the... I don't know where it's gone. No, it's there. I thought I'd lost it. It's still here. Oh, I have lost one of my balls. Okay. So I've got, one of them's rolled off. I'm gonna have to. Oh, there it is. Found it. That was lucky. Okay, right. Let me just put this back. getting a bit clumsy in me. Right. I'm just getting clumsy. Right, so basically we need to make this bigger. I'm doing it again. It's because the bottom's not fixed to it. Hang on, hold it underneath, right. Right, we need to make this bigger so that the ball is actually not going to... So when I drill it out, it's going to accommodate the ball. But as you can see, the ball's bigger than the pillow at the moment. And that pillow also wants to be a lot lower down. So anyway, I'm going to fill this void here now. And I'll make another update in a short while. Now that I've got it sellotaped together, there won't be any leaks. And then I can put my resin in the trough. And then we can push the ring on to keep everything nice and straight. And let it set. And then once it's set, I'll just pop it out. Because the resin's only going to be in this trough here. And it's going to join both parts together. Because these two parts are colour-coded them so I can see easily. Because remember, this is the pattern file. Once I've made this pattern, sorry, not, why do I keep saying file? It's not a file, it's a pattern. Right, yeah, okay. So, once I've made this pattern, and I've got it exactly the way I want it, with the option of having the large ball or a smaller ball lower down. Once I've got those things built in, to put the ball bearings in my scissors so they don't roll away. Once I've got this all built in, then I'm going to be using this to make a new silicone mould. And the new silicone mould, I'll be able to make multiple copies of this. So, but it doesn't matter. The only reason why I'm making it all different colours is because if I do something wrong and I have to separate it, I've got a colour guide. I can see where the separations are, and it will make it easy for me later to basically hacksaw or whatever, or Dremel or whatever you want to call it, or mini rotary saw, separate parts and alter it, because the pattern is the reference. And it means that I want to be able to adapt and change things in the future if at some point I need to make alterations. It'll make it easier for me to do that. I'm not forced to bond these two halves together actually, but I want to do that because, well, I just want it to be more, it's going to look better anyway. I mean, sellotaping the two halves together is not going to look good in the mould, in a silicone mould, because you're going to get all the sellotape ridges, and I don't want that. So, yeah, I'll turn the light out. So, I think you get the idea. But, so now it's just got to fill this up with resin now. And then, once it's hardened, then I can drill this out and cut to the different ball sizes. And the small ball can go right at we'll probably go a bit midway, in between, right down here, which will be pretty close to the large ball. Whereas the larger ball, which is that one, which is a 1/2 inch, that's 9mm, that one, and that's a 1/2 inch. So the 9mm one will be pretty close to the middle, but the 1/2 inch one will be much further back, unless the middle ball's not there, in which case it will sink pretty much to where the little ball is. So I'm going to be having, I'm going to be dimpling it so that the large ball can also sit in the recess of where the 9mm goes, but the hole size, the actual size of the hole for the ball will be just big enough for that to slide in, so it will always be in the centre. That's the idea, is to have it large enough so that the ball will be able to always be in the centre, but it can either be higher or lower. So it'll give me a lot of adjustment. Also, there's also a possibility that that at some point I could even have the iron an iron steel screw or bolt which we can adjust the height of the ball. That's possible. Just an option. Anyway, thanks for watching.